Welcome to the medkey introduction video. I'm very excited to go through the device in quite a bit of detail for you to show you the changes and what you have in this new device. First of all, let's look at the design. Ergonomics, you can see, have taken a significant step forward. The display is embedded in the device in such a way that when treating, you hardly come into contact with the device, and this is a really good thing for when you are constantly treating and don't actually accidentally activate any of the functions in the device. Also, the glass is no longer acrylic, it is now polycarbonate, and this is an advance in these days of COVID where you might have wet fingers from hand sanitizers. The device reacts very, very well with this. Now let's have a look. There is no charging socket in the medkey anymore. It is replaced with an induction charging unit, and as you can see, there is no plug, so there's no chance for any dirt, dust, liquids to get in this. It is a sealed device, and this device is now charged by an induction keypad which connects to the wall. You'll also notice this little plus sign here. That is for you to charge your phone if you have that option available in your phone. Now let's have a closer look. This ring here is the keypheresis ring. It actually doesn't look much, but it's got significantly more area to cover than the physio key. So when holding the device, you actually have very good contact with the keypheresis electrode. Now, one thing that has changed is the entire locking system for the head. Whereas with the old physio key, it was gold contacts. Now we have spring-loaded locking heads with titanium contact points, so the locking system of the electrode heads is very robust and strong. The battery, twice as much capacity as the physio key, so you're going to get a lot longer use from it, and it's going to last many years longer. So now let's have a look at display. I'm going to turn it on here, and the device, you see, will boot up, and let's take a closer look at the screen. Now let's have a closer look at the display. Simply turn the device on by holding the physical button down, and it's very familiar to those that you that have a physio key. Keypheresis at the top, bioregulation, and diagnostic. So from this point we go in. A few new symbols you'll see is the Bluetooth signal that connects us to the keypad tablet, which comes with your device. Also your settings menu, which will take you into different settings. And as you can see, it's true full touch display where I can swipe and go into different settings. So I'm going to back out of there for the moment and go into my home screen, and I'm going to first go into bioregulation. So there's going to be a couple of familiar things to you and a couple of new symbols here. First of all, this bottom, this is your locking mechanism. Really simple to slide the display into lock with a little bit of pressure, and to unlock you simply tap that. Let's see that again. A little bit of pressure while you're working, then there's no chance of you inadvertently unlocking the screen. Now let's have a look. The first setting that comes up for you is basic. The setting you all know, really good for finding key points, good for autonomic nervous system stimulation, and nothing's changed there. But as you can see, there's two other things at the bottom left and right. There is a setting called soft and INT. That stands for intensive. Now, these are new settings within the main settings, and they are attached to everything, sedation, trigger, activation. And what I want to do is first talk about an example of using this particular setting, say in sedation. And what I want to talk about is what it really means for your practice. There's a lot more design and technical stuff to talk about at the moment. In this video, I want to talk about what it means for you should you be using it in the practice and what are the advantages of it. So let's look at sedation. Most of you watching this video will be familiar with your setting in PhysioKey. So let's talk about someone who, say, comes in for epicondylitis, elbow. So what you're going to do is, as with anything, you're going to set your energy level. And with epicondylitis, swelling, inflammation, you might say to yourself, well, I know what to do. I'm going to use sedation first. And generally might go to 30, 35, doesn't matter. Let's assume that for the example of this discussion, that you have 3 patients coming in with the same indication, epicondylitis of the elbow. They're all saying it's level 6-7 pain. So for the example, most of us are going to go to sedation. Now in this example, let's assume that one of the 3 patients you help, all good, and the second patient reacts over the top. It's just too much for them to handle at this energy level. So you might want to turn down. It's too strong, too pleasant, the stimulation's too forceful no matter what you do. And then the third patient, you get no reaction at all. He just can't be moved no matter what you do with sedation. He can't be moved out of the static level of pain, the restriction in movement. So normally what you would do is try a different program with these 2 patients to activate, an individual response, or you would vary the place of treatment. You would go to the symmetrical, or you would go to the reciprocal treatment side. And all this is great. There's nothing wrong with it. And go and do that for your patient, but it's not a problem to do that. But as an experienced therapist, there's many cases you'll say to yourself, you know what? I think that sedation is still the right setting for this patient because I want to reduce the inflammation. I want to start the lymphatic flow because it just doesn't seem to be moving. And this is where the soft and intensive settings have been introduced by Keytec into the medkey precisely for these cases. So with the soft setting, you deal more gently with a patient who has experienced too much of an impulse. And with the intense, you bring the other person out of their inflexible state just by touching that button. To turn it off, I go back to my standard sedation. Soft or intensive. It's totally up to you. So what you've got here is 3 different settings within the setting. So it expands your application of the device in your practice a great deal. And I've been experiencing that in my own practice while testing this device and having a play with it. So once you've choose these settings, you follow the principle of sedation, but now you've got really 3 different parameters of which to play. To give you an example, it's like putting new tyres on your car, say a race car, optimised for the respective road surface. And this is possible because in medkey, what Keytec has done is for the first time to vary something called the pre-impulse. Now, this is a technique that they have now applied for a patent. This isn't the video to go into actually what it does, but it is incredibly effective in this. But let's go a little deeper into this device some more. Now let's talk about something which is an absolute game changer for what we do. What I'm holding in my hand is a revolution in our treatment. It's a small revolution, you might think. Yes, it's very small in terms of components. But inside there's some incredible technical innovation for what we do. And that's exactly what makes it so special. What I'm holding here is the new Hi-Pro scanner. It has an optical sensor inside which scans the skin with a laser, and it measures the brightness, and it has an aperture just like a camera, and the entire measurement is transferred into a mirror and then processed with an integrated circuit board which is inside this exchange head. And on the back we have a thing called a bus system which transfers the information to the medkey. And from the medkey this is transferred to the keypad via Bluetooth. Now let's have a look how the Hi-Pro scanner works when we're connecting to the keypad via Bluetooth and how we can record our measurements. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start up my keypad, and you will see on the corner here, I'm just going to log in. All right, so we're ready to go. So now my Hi-Pro scanner is connected, and now I've already got a Bluetooth connected because I've set it up already. And what you can see on the screen of my keypad is the device is ready to go. Now I will show you 3 pathways and talk through it in a moment, but let's look at what we do. So once my device is paired, I go into keypad mode, and now I'm ready to record all my readings. Once I've set my energy, it's going to record the readings onto the keypad. Let's have a look at a 3 pathways treatment, just what you see on the keypad. So I'm on the keypad now and I select General Zone, 3 tracks, and immediately the device shows me the 3 tracks. And once I put the device onto the skin, the medkey starts recording its numbers into the keypad, its readings as it drags down the spine. Now what you're going to see as the device moves down the spine, towards the bottom of the spine you're going to see the numbers disappear. And I first thought, wow, this is really weird. But what is actually happening? It's adapting to the speed that you move down a spine, because what you're going to find when you see the left and the right paravertebral, the numbers keep up with me. So this is just another amazing innovation that I did not expect, that the device actually adapts to the speed that you're moving. Now that first blue number in the central spinal root is of course the highest reading there, and then down the left side the device is going to record and transfer the information of the highest reading on the pathway there, and it's going to do the same on the right side. And then what we're going to get is we're going to get 3 readings, and on each of the 3, the central, the left and the right, we're going to apply the device stationary to get a target value. So I've got my readings, I press next, and I replace the device on that point where the highest reading was, and the device starts to take readings. And what it will do, you will still get the same audible tone when the device gets a target value, but the target value will be recorded with the time it takes to get that target value on the keypad for you. So you can see in that little circle on the screen the time is going, and on the device screen the number is rising. Because remember, all we're looking for is the highest value of all to treat. Okay, so my highest value there was 71. Then I move it to the point on the left paravertebral and do the same. Wait till I get my target value, lift the device off. Now look, in treatment time, the first step, which is the first pathway, my target value took 53 seconds. So I'm doing the same on the left and the same on the right. So my highest target value on the left is 52, and now I'm doing it on the right paravertebral pathway. And once I've got 3 target values, I'm going to apply treatment to the highest target value. So as you can see, the highest point is 71. So now I'm going to change my setting to a bioregulation setting, and then I'm going to press the start treatment. Now once I've done that, I can choose to hold the device stationary, I can brush the area, I can do swirls, it doesn't matter. As soon as I lift the device for a period of time, that's the end of treatment. In this example, you're going to see me leave the device there for 1 minute, and then I lift it off, and that will pretty much be my entire treatment. Now of course you can go back and treat different areas. The example of this is to show you how simple it is to follow a 3 pathways treatment, and where the device guides you, records where your highest reading is, so you know where to go next time if you want to treat a related general zone. It's all set out for you, it records it, and it is in your patient database to do next time. Now, I will be doing more videos. You'll be able to see specific points of legs, abdomen, just to show you how this system works. So I've left a little bit longer in this example, and once I lift the device off, the keypad will ask me what to do, and I will say next. Maybe I left it there for 1 minute 30. Apologies for everyone waiting for it to finish. Okay, I've finished, I hit next, and then my patient can feed back on their result. So there's a quick run through on the medkey. I'll be doing more. If you're interested, contact us and order your device today.